everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Sweet Girl, starring Jason Momoa, just out on Netflix tonight, and I'm surprised that only 1,136 people watched it so far. Normally when these movies come out, they're everybody's rated, or I shouldn't say watched it, rated it so far. But that's cool. I'm sure other people besides me have a life and they get to go out and have fun, and I'm here watching the movies. So that's probably why. But it also stars Isabela Merced. She was Dora in a live action Dora, so I thought that was pretty neat. And the other name I reckon is Justin Bartha is in it. It's only a 5.5 on IMDb so far, but anyway, Jason Momoa and Isabela, and he has a wife, and she has some kind of medical condition, and he needs drugs to help her, and decides to go on some kind of revenge path, or what did they call it, I should say, brief justice for the people responsible for his wife's death. So, I don't know. Let me get into it, give you a better idea of really what it's about, and then let you know what I think. It's an hour and 49 minutes long, so stick around, I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Sweet Girl, and no check-in tonight. I apologize. Really, for the majority of the movie, it was what I kind of told you it was about. Jason Momoa, he and his wife, he has a wife and a daughter, and his wife gets sick, and there's a drug that can help her. They take it off the market. He decides to go after the people, right? So it's like a revenge tale. And they set it up with him, kind of being an MMA fighter, or at least training, and he trains his daughter and stuff like that. So when he's going on this revenge plot, it's all action. As you can imagine, he's going to get into some fights with some probably trained assassins, right? And so watch, and he's a big dude. So sometimes it's far-fetched. So you can kind of see people train to kill people for their entire lives. And I know Jason Momoa is a big dude, an MMA fighter, but when he starts fighting assassins, it's like, whatever. Still makes for good TV, right? So it was entertaining to see some of the things that he had done, and you're of course curious what's all going to happen here. Where's this going to lead to, and also trying to understand really what he's going after. I had a hard time with that piece of it. The actual, and I won't go into too much detail because you're probably going to want to watch it, but it's not like your normal revenge plot where somebody has killed somebody and you have to go after them, for that revenge. This is more like, pharmaceutical, and that kind of thing, and money. And he's going after it. So when you watch it, it's like, really? You go that far for that piece of it? Whatever. Okay? So take that for what it's worth. I didn't like the whole thing that he was going after revenge for. It was a little cloudy, and then, I don't know. I don't want to say illogical, but not worth it maybe. But, to somebody like me. But anyway, so you're watching this whole thing, and you've got all that. And, of course, in most of these movies, you're going to have that aha moment, I'll call it, or whatever. Where it's going to get a little bit more interesting, and they give you that. And I'm not going to tell you what that is, but once that happens, all the stuff that I had said before, it even becomes more like, really, kind of stuff. It's like, okay, it was far-fetched before, and now it's super far-fetched. Again, it's all in the movies, it's all for fun. You can put that aside, but that kind of ruined it for me ultimately. And then when you do something wrong, right, and you're running around and you're doing different things for revenge or whatever the reason was, that's what this one was about. And you start on the cops' radars or whatever, and they have ways to find you. Right, so like traffic cams and stuff like that, and that happens, in this movie. I don't, I'm not gonna, but I think that if they could find you on a traffic cam, they could find you just about anywhere. So it's like impossible to go across borders, impossible to go on planes, so on and so forth. So, you know what I mean? Doesn't that make sense? So when you watch this, keep that in mind. because the whole last 20 minutes of the movie was just like, ooh. I wanted to like it and I wanted to accept what they gave me, but the more and more you think about it, the more and more you don't like it, unfortunately. It was more fun before that point, even though it was far-fetched, than after that point. So, still like Jason Momoa. I still like Dora, whatever her name was. She was pretty good in this. Interesting. And a couple of other things. I'm not quite sure why they call it Sweet Girl. You know? Maybe, they could, I don't know. But I missed that piece. The other piece of it, now this is interesting, and I feel like a fool. All of you are going to make fun of me. But I realized that majority of the movie takes place in Pennsylvania and Pittsburgh. So I was like, wow, that's cool, And I didn't realize it until they start going towards a Pirates game, right? There's a Pirates game going on, and it actually, the movie kind of starts there and then goes back to that. But it wasn't until that point that I realized, did you know? Probably, maybe you didn't think about it, the Pirates, the Pittsburgh Pirates, the baseball team, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, the football team, wear the same colors. They're the only pro sports city team that does that. I had to look it up. I mean, after I saw that, I was like, wow, I didn't realize that. I wonder how many other teams do that. I know Philadelphia doesn't do it. I know Atlanta doesn't do that. And I don't feel like going through all 32 teams in my head. And I looked it up, and they're the only one. So I'm not a Pittsburgh fan. But now, you know what I mean? Like, wouldn't it be awesome? Because you just have to buy, one set of colors, to follow the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Pirates, I never knew that. I'm sorry. So you're probably like, unfollow, unsubscribe right now. This guy's an idiot. But there you go. That was something good that came out of this movie. It was entertaining, but disappointing in the end. You'll see what I mean if you haven't seen it yet. But good action. Some fun little things, you know what I mean? Like when you're plotting against somebody and you set up different things. Some of that was okay. Some of it was like gapped. Like certain things happen and then there was a gap. Or there was like they didn't, I don't know. You know what I mean? They just go to it. It's hard to explain. But you'll see what I mean when you watch it. So check it out. Hopefully I was helpful. I still think, it's on Netflix. If you have Netflix, you like action movies, you're going to watch it. But I'm hopefully setting your expectations appropriately. This is not something like you're gonna, oh yeah, maybe you will, but this is, at least if you go in with this expectation, you might come out a little bit higher. So there you go. Hopefully I was helpful. If I was, that'd be great. Let me know in the comments. Love to hear your thoughts. And that's it. If you haven't already, subscribe. Don't unsubscribe. Just subscribe. Tell all your friends and continue to come back. Kimmel's Irish Pub.